Now let's go ahead and move on to back to more two-wheel racing.
Yes, so I watched Supercross again this weekend.
In Pittsburgh?
Correct, they were in Pittsburgh this weekend. Good job. So that means we were with the East Coast boys in terms of the 250SX and then, of course, all of the 450SX. We're very close to the end of the season.
Is it three more after this?
After this one has happened now, they have two more.
Two more. Ooh.
So one west side and one east side.
Wait a
race.
minute. So this was two more races
for the AMA Supercross, and then they go to the Pro Motocross outside. But yes, so the season's already almost over, which is wild.
Yeah.
And it's still a lot is in contention.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off with the 250.
Tell me about it.
Guys, of course, we knew that Seth Hamaker going into this, he had the red plate.
Okay.
But it was still quite close. We had RJ Hampshire in contention. Tom Vial was in contention still for the championship.
Tom Vial is the defending champion. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes. And he's French. We said last time or a couple weeks ago that he was Spanish.
We weren't quite sure. But yeah, he's French, right?
But he's French.
Yeah.
Yes. So I just wanted to point that out. That was our mistake.
But he is French?
He is French.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know why I keep thinking he's Spanish. I don't know why.
I mean, Vial or Vial, like how the last name is spelled, I'm like, I get it. But anyways, so going into this race, it was going to be interesting because Seth was the only one up till now who had repeated a race win for the 250
The week
East.
before, right?
Exactly. So that was like, it's really, really close. And then so this weekend was also the time for Tom Vial to really put his last foot into the fight because it was close between Seth and RJ, but then Tom really had to win this weekend to still be able to defend his title.
Yeah.
So a lot of pressure. I have to say, I really love the track. So it was in Pittsburgh at the Steelers, inside the Steelers football stadium, I believe. And the track was really interesting. They had a couple really nice rhythm and whoop sections. They had some like tabletops also, which was really cool. And they also had like a turn that was on a tabletop.
Interesting. Okay.
So that was it was like elevated a little bit. Then they had a section of the track where it was split. So you could do the inside lane
I remember that.
Or the outside, which I really liked. So it was a really... it looked like a really, really fun track.
It was dry weather?
It was. They had to cancel one of the practice sessions because it had rained overnight.
Oh, no.
But during the actual race, it was dry. But it was apparently quite the challenging track because also the whoop sections were apparently a little bit further apart. So you had to blitz them was really hard.
Okay.
So it was an interesting... like I said, I enjoyed the track visually. It was a really fun. So going into the 250 SX heat races, it was, pressure on everybody. But also I wanted to point out Maximus Volant. He's been in the top 10, I think, recently. But the crazy thing is, apparently he, you know how the bikes usually have a rear foot brake, right? So his doesn't have it because his foot is still injured, so he can't apply it fully. So he had to put in a hand brake to
on top of the clutch.
I don't know, but like somewhere in the front there was so he had to use the handbrake to be able to brake while on the track.
Okay, wait. They don't usually use the handbrake?
I guess
not. Maybe not on the right side. Maybe it's just okay.
So, but that was like everybody was like, it's really impressive that he was doing this because he also had an excellent.
Heat?
Yes, he overall he did excellent. I'm just gonna jump into like the main race because we're also been talking for a while, so I want to just shorten things up a little bit. But let me see how I want to start. So Nate Thrasher got the whole shot.
Okay.
He had won a race earlier in the season, so he wanted to, of course, get his second win as well. And he was leading the race for quite a long time.
Okay.
But then Tom Vial was coming for him, which was really interesting. And as that was happening, Seth Hamaker, on the other hand, had a really shitty start. He got caught up. Nobody really fell at the beginning, but he got caught up in the mob, essentially.
In the sauce, yeah.
So it was... it was really, the first 2 laps were so tough for him. He had got caught with somebody, but he was able to stay on the bike, and it was so impressive.
Yeah.
Both of the Lawrence brothers were there commentating for the 250SX, and they were also, this was an excellent race. They were shocked how Seth was staying on the bike at one point. Then there was another rider, Hardy Munoz. He had this like moment, I think, with Seth, and he was just hanging with his hands on the bike in a way, but he was holding on to it, so he was able to stay on the bike, which was excellent. So Seth had a big race ahead of him, because I think he at one point he was like 16th, and so he had a lot of people to go through, but he went into this weekend with a lot of confidence. He was feeling good.
He just came back from a second win,
of
right?
course so he was in like a good calm mind space. Yeah, exactly. So he was driving through the bunches, and he ended up coming in 5th.
Ooh, okay.
Which was excellent. It was really good.
11 positions.
Yeah, for his championship contention. Then RJ Hampshire, who's also competing for the championship, was just 1 spot ahead of him. 4th. Then on the podium for the first time, Maximus Volant.
Nice.
So the guy with the handbrake came in 3rd. Then Nate Thrasher came in 2nd. So Tom Vial came in and won the race.
Dang, Tom.
Nate Thrasher had, I think, he had a moment. I don't remember right now what had happened. It was like it was just a bummer, because he had the win. It was so close for him, but then he just had a moment, and then Tom Vial took the win away from him.
What is that guy called again with the handbrake?
Volant.
I was like, maybe he should just consider having it always in the front if he's doing so much better with it, you know?
I don't know. Yeah. So who knows? But so now the overall standing is so close.
Okay.
And keep in mind, the East Coast boys have 1 more race.
Okay.
Because they have 2 races, 1 West Coast, 1 East Coast. So they have a week break before they
So
come
next
back.
week is the final for the West Coast?
Yes.
Okay.
And then so right now, Tom Vial is in the front.
Oh, wow.
With 160 points.
It's 160?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Seth Hamaker is 2nd with 159.
Oh, my God.
And then RJ Hampshire is 3rd with 157.
Oh, my. It's so
It's
close.
so close. I'm so excited because, I mean, oh my gosh, it's going to be so fun. It's going to be a really great finale, I think, for them.
Finale?
Yeah. What did I say?
Finale.
Yamaha. So I'm really looking forward to it. Maybe you want to think about if you want to watch the finale.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For
this one, just because it's going to be, I think it's going to be an interesting one, just because it's so close.
It's in 2 weeks?
It's in 2 weeks, yes.
Oh, it falls right onto... Okay, that's fine because it's on a Saturday. So
yes,
that's fine.
yeah, they always race on Saturdays.
Okay.
So that's going to be really interesting. Before I move into the 450SX, I just want to point out again, the West Coast boys only have 1 more race, right? And their current standing is Hayden Deegan is 1st with 171 points. Cole Davies is 2nd with 154 points, which is also impressive that Cole Davies made it up to 2nd.
Oh, that's a Kiwi?
That's a Kiwi. That's
wow,
the 17-year-old.
what happened to Julian?
And then Julian Beaumaire is 3rd with 145 points.
Okay, so this one is a little bit less tight.
Yes.
So Deegan would really have to throw it away to lose this one.
Exactly.
Okay.
So then going into this 450 main event, we of course know that Cooper Webb was leading the overall championship and Chase Sexton is literally chasing him for the championship. They, I don't remember how many points they were difference before going into this, but it was... I
think it was less than 20, right? Maybe
15? But they were saying like Chase pretty much had to win all the races.
Yeah, I remember
to for sure win. So it was a big moment for him this weekend, and of course he was coming after back-to-back wins. So he definitely had a little bit more of the momentum. But you know, Cooper Webb is not somebody to sleep on. He is pretty good. Before I get into that main race, I do want to also say, unfortunately, Justin Barcia is out of the season. because I don't know if you didn't watch the last race, but last race he had a pretty mean fall because he was leading the race and then he had fallen, and so he's out now, which is unfortunate. Not that he was in contention for the championship, but he's been doing well and he's a fan favorite.
There's
People
so
like
many
him.
people this season who like got injured, like Eli not being there, you know, the two Lawrence brothers.
Yes, but the two Lawrence brothers said they'll be back for the pro motocross season.
Do we know if Eli will be back for the pro moto?
I don't know. I haven't looked up.
Okay.
So I'm not quite sure. And then also going into this 450 main event was also Justin Cooper, who's been doing pretty well. He's been getting a little frustrated because he's getting all the fourth places.
Oh, yeah.
He's been missing the podium
Ungrateful
by
fourth.
by such a little margin, which is, of course, frustrating.
Absolutely.
So he was going into this weekend's race wanting to do well.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just going to jump right into the main event. We had Cooper Webb getting the whole shot and going for the lead essentially, and then behind him we had Chase Sexton was there, Justin Cooper was there, and Plessinger, Malcolm Stewart, and Ken was there too.
Nice.
Ken was also a little bit in podium contention for a minute. The good thing about this track for Kenny, I don't know why I thought Kevin for a second. Kenny was also, the layout helped because it was not, the turns were, I think, more on the left side, which was good for his right injured ankle. So there was less of a chance that he had to take it down to help moving. So that was good. But
what nonsense.
But not great.
Yeah. it's like, this track is better for your injuries that you have of the 17,
I know.
Of that one injury that you have, or of the 17 injuries, that one that you have, this one won't hurt.
No, not as much.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. So it was really interesting, and also Justin Cooper was definitely one to watch because during his heat, which was so fun, he during the track where it split, he used to go through on I think it was the inside lane where it then goes outside before they're rejoining, and he always had a way to slingshot around it, which gave him so much momentum that he was able to pass two people during his heat, which was so fun. But not a lot of people, from what I remember, were able to do it as well. So that was really cool. But clearly, the other competitors watched what he had done, so they were prepared for it, which makes sense.
Yes. Yeah.
But it was still a really cool moment. And then it was, of course, the big battle between Chase and Cooper. At the beginning, Chase was always blitzing the whoops, and then Webb was always jumping them. So there was a little bit of an advantage for Chase right there. But then, of course, Cooper doesn't make a lot of mistakes. No. He's very consistent. He's really strong.
And usually the second part of the race is usually where he shines.
Exactly. But he was leading right from the get-go. There was moments where the lead was a little bit more than other moments where Chase was able to catch up. But then Chase made a couple stupid mistakes. Once he also went off the track, but he stayed luckily on the bike, which didn't make him lose any other position. It just got him away from Cooper Webb again, which is a bummer. So in the end, Cooper Webb came in first. Chase Sexton came in second.
So does that mean it is almost a sealed fate?
And Justin Cooper came in third. So they have 2 more races to go.
Okay.
There's 12 points difference.
Okay,
so it's not all said and done yet.
Yeah.
But it would mean Cooper would have to make significant mistakes.
Definitely not come onto the podium.
Exactly.
It to the podium. Yeah.
And then Chase would have to win them, ideally.
Yeah.
So we'll see. There's a lot of pressure on him. He's good in the second half of the season, or sometimes better on the second half of the season, as people have been saying, Chase. So maybe he can just shake this one off and come back. Yeah. I'm hoping we'll have some really nice battles in these last 2 races. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. So thank you very much for sharing that with me.
You're welcome.